Hello, lovely YouTubers, and today I wanted to tell a story about writing books. And I'm sure that everyone who is here has either written a book or dreams of writing a book. Of course, this channel is called Book to Write. That name comes from a song by a band called Jawbreaker, and it was just the live version which appealed to me. This was back in 1996, and the lyrics went, "Our new life, a book to write, every page is blank." But it's true that every day of my life, I've always been in love with pens, pencils, paper, books, computers, keyboards, and writing, the written word. I've always wanted to write, create, try, do whatever I can. And, obviously I touched a little bit on creative writing in my studies, but it was honestly never really very helpful to me. And I think, and I'll paraphrase a little bit, but Charles Bukowski was often asked, "Help me be a writer, what do I need to do?" And Charles Bukowski essentially said, writing is something that you do. You don't have a choice. You just do it to stay sane. And I really relate to that because writing for me is something that I do as a form of therapy. It's a form of analyzing things that have happened to me and dealing with them and processing them. But one thing that has remained true through creative writing studies, or if you listen to any writer or critic, not that they can always be trusted, of course, but the idea is that you should always write what you know. Write something, even if it's metaphorical, that is based on your own experience. And I have actually written and published 2 books. They're both crap. But it's something that I did because I just loved the creative process. And in fact, the first one that I wrote was in 2010, and it was part of, I was living in the UK, and it was part of a initiative called November Novel Writing Month. I can't remember the exact name. And the concept was that you wrote a 50,000 word or more novel in 30 days. And one of the things that you probably are familiar with writing is that if you start writing every day, the first week that you're writing is going to be terrible. But as you continue to just practice, even if you have to force yourself, even if you're just looking at the sky and writing about your thoughts and your feelings, as you continue to do it day after day after day, your writing becomes better. And you start finding new ways of expressing yourself and new forms of creativity. And the first book that I published was that. It's a book called The War Within. And it was written in 30 days. And it is essentially a love story. But it contains many different things, and it is semi-autobiographical and semi-fictional and so on and so forth. But as a part of completing that exercise, they gave me a code to get a free publication on Amazon Kindle, whatever it was at the time. I think it was called Create Space, and now it's called Kindle Direct Publishing, which I used, of course, and got it. And I said, hey, now I have a book. Sold about 2 copies in its entire lifetime. But there you go. And as part of my ongoing efforts to continue writing, I'm always trying to write just little blogs, journals, anything that's going on, trying to be creative in different ways. Sometimes it's just an outlet for my frustrations with what may be going on in life at the time, whether it be something political, whether it be something romantic. And I decided to publish something from this. And so what I've decided is to do 3 volumes, because the first part was written just before I left England. The second part was written while I was in Spain. And the third part, which is still ongoing, is now while I'm here in the US. And in fact, the early copy of that has volume one on, which has since been removed. I no longer have it, but the Memoirs of the Damned, the English Years, is the first one. And again, something that's just there as a, to say, hey, I did something, I was creative and I worked, and you have something physical to hold on to. And one day, 100 years ago, 100 years from now, somebody will find the book and think, what a load of crap, and maybe throw it onto the fireplace, and it'll keep them warm for a few more minutes or whatever it may be, and it'll have served some purpose. But for me, it's therapy, and it's getting something out there and contributing something to the world of art and culture. And I recommend that you continue writing. Try to write something every day, even if it's just 200 words, even if it's 100 words. Write a poem, write a thought, write about something that you see, or start writing a story about your own experiences. And who knows, you never know where you may go. Thank you.